What's up, everyone? And welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a debate that has echoed through basketball courts and sports bars for decades. Who are the greatest basketball teams of all time? It's a massive question, right? Is it the 90s Bulls with their untouchable aura? Maybe the Showtime Lakers, who ran the floor like poetry in motion? Or perhaps the modern-day Warriors, who literally changed the way the game is played? To truly crown a champion of champions, we can't just look at win-loss records. We have to dissect the DNA of these legendary squads. So, let's break it down, piece by piece, starting with something that happens long before the bright lights hit the court. Training. The greatest teams don't just show up. They're forged in the fire of grueling practice sessions. Think about the Breakfast Club, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Ron Harper hitting the gym before sunrise. Their relentless pursuit of perfection wasn't just about individual skill. It was about building an unbreakable chemistry and a work ethic that became the team's identity. This commitment to training isn't just about running drills, it's about building a culture of excellence that every single player buys into, from the superstar to the last guy on the bench. Next up, let's talk recruitment and team building. You can have all the talent in the world, but if the pieces don't fit, you've just got a collection of individuals, not a team. This is where legendary general managers and front offices earn their stripes. Look at Jerry West for the Lakers. Not just as a player, but as an executive who masterfully orchestrated the Shaq and Kobe dynasty. Or how about the San Antonio Spurs? They built a 2-decade-long dynasty by finding international gems like Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili late in the draft and pairing them with a cornerstone like Tim Duncan. Great recruitment isn't always about landing the number one pick. It's about having a vision, finding players who complement each other, and building a roster with depth, versatility, and character. That's the secret sauce that turns a good team into a legendary one. Of course, we have to talk about the money. Salaries in professional basketball have exploded over the years, and how a team manages its cap space can make or break a dynasty. Back in the day, contracts were simpler, but now, with luxury taxes, max contracts, and complex bird rights, GMs have to be financial wizards. Take the Golden State Warriors dynasty. They managed to keep their core of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green together by strategically structuring contracts. Sometimes, it even requires a star player taking a little less money to keep the championship window open. This financial maneuvering is a high-stakes chess match. A single bad contract can cripple a team for years, while a smart one can pave the way for multiple championships. It's the unseen battlefield where many titles are won and lost before a single ball is even bounced. Location, location, location. You might not think it matters, but where a team is based can have a huge impact. Big markets like Los Angeles, New York, and Miami have always been attractive destinations for free agents. The lifestyle, the media exposure, the endorsement opportunities, it all plays a part. The Heat's ERA with LeBron, Wade, and Bosh in Miami is a perfect example. South Beach was a massive draw, but don't count out the smaller markets. Teams like the Spurs in San Antonio or the Jazz in Utah have built incredible, loyal fan bases and a distinct home court advantage that can be intimidating for any visiting team. A city's identity often becomes intertwined with its team, creating a powerful sense of pride and community that fuels the players on the court. Whether it's the glitz and glam or a die-hard small-town feel, location absolutely shapes a team's story. Now for the main event, the games themselves. When we talk about the greatest teams, we remember the iconic moments. We remember the shot from MJ over Craig Elo. We remember Magic Johnson's baby hook in the finals. We remember Ray Allen's corner three to save the Heat. The greatest teams didn't just win. They dominated in the most critical moments. The '86 Celtics had one of the most dominant home records in history, going 40-1 at the Boston Garden. The 2017 Warriors blazed through the playoffs with an insane 16-1 record. These teams had a killer instinct. When the game was on the line, everyone in the arena knew who was going to take the final shot. And more often than not, it went in. Their performance in the regular season was impressive, but their elevation in the playoffs is what etched their names in history forever. Behind every great team is a set of rules and a philosophy, usually driven by a legendary coach. Think about Phil Jackson and the triangle offense. It wasn't just a playbook. It was a system that empowered players, promoted ball movement, and created a sense of zen-like calm amidst the chaos of the NBA. The Bulls and Lakers won a combined 11 championships running it, or consider Greg Popovich and the Spurs. His policies were about discipline, selflessness, and the team always coming before the individual. He created the Spurs way, a culture that was bigger than any one player. even Tim Duncan. These coaching policies and team philosophies provide the structure and discipline needed to navigate the long, grueling 82-game season and the intense pressure of the playoffs. It's the invisible architecture that supports the entire championship structure. So, after looking at all these factors, the grueling training, the masterful recruitment, the savvy salary management, the impact of location, the legendary on-court performances, and the guiding team policies, who truly comes out on top? If you ask me, the 1995-96 Chicago Bulls are the pinnacle. Their 72-10 regular season record was a monument to dominance that stood for 20 years. They had the undisputed greatest player of all time in Michael Jordan, an elite sidekick in Scottie Pippen, and a perfect cast of role players like Dennis Rodman, all orchestrated by the master, Phil Jackson. They were a cultural phenomenon that transcended sports. But you can't ignore the 2016-17 Golden State Warriors. Adding Kevin Durant to a 73-win team felt like a cheat code. They had arguably the greatest collection of offensive firepower ever assembled and played a beautiful, free-flowing style of basketball that was nearly impossible to stop. And what about the 1985-86 Boston Celtics? Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, Bill Walton, Dennis Johnson. That roster was just absurdly deep and talented. They played tough, smart, and selfless basketball, representing the absolute peak of 80s hoops. Ultimately, the debate for the best ever is what makes basketball so beautiful. Each era has its titan, its defining team that pushed the sport to new heights. There's no single right answer, and that's the fun of it. So, I want to hear from you. Who do you think is the greatest team of all time? Drop your pick in the comments below, and let's get this debate started. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content breaking down the legends of the game. We'll see you in the next one.